All right, it's time for another episode on Let's Learn to Play Psionics for D&D. Don't fear the Psionics. Unless the player character is getting attacked by psionics and they're not psionic and it's a mind flare, then fear it. fear it a lot. Oh, and intellect devours and fear all that stuff. Yeah. Gym dragons. I heard that really made people interested in this book. Anyway, so last episode we talked about psionic non-weapon proficiencies, and it listed off some stuff that is new. And I said we probably should cover that. So harness subconscious. This meditative proficiency lets the psionist temporarily boost his total PSPs. That's cool. In effect, the proficiency lets him tap into energy reserves that lie deep in his subconscious, reserves which are usually unavailable to him. It's like enjoying a shot of psychic adrenaline. Lets you go deep, push it, get that nosebleed, right? Before he can harness subconscious energies, the psionist's PSP total must be at its maximum. He then must spend 2 days, 48 consecutive hours, gathering his energy, taking only necessary breaks for eating and sleeping. At the end of that time, the character makes a proficiency check. If he passes, he increases his PSP total by 20%, rounded up. The increase in PSP lasts 72 hours. At the end of that time, the character loses as many strength points as he initially gained, regardless of current total. This loss can never reduce his total below 0 points, however. During the 72 hours of heightened strength, the character cannot recover PSPs if his current total equals or exceeds his usual maximum. Once his current total drops below his usual maximum, i.e. once he has spent all the bonus points, he can begin regaining PSPs normally. He cannot recover the lost bonus points, however, he can only recover enough points to return to his usual maximum. All right, this would be good. I can see how it could be good. I mean, you have to prep and all that, but if you know you're going to go do something, it's going to require a lot of psychic woo-woo from you, then the prep time would be worth it to get that 72 hours and maybe get an edge. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Hypnosis. With this proficiency, a psionicist can hypnotize another character, place the subject into a relaxed state in which he is very susceptible to suggestions. However, hypnosis is not possible unless the subject is willing and knows he's being hypnotized. Psionicist with this proficiency can hypnotize humans and demi-humans with ease. Non-humans can be hypnotized too, but the DM should assign a penalty to the proficiency check. The size of the penalty depends on how inhuman the subject is. A half-orc, for example, can be hypnotized with a -2 modifier, while a lizard man could be hypnotized only with a -8 modifier to the psionics proficiency check. I think lizard men should be able to hypnotize people. Just, random thought there. With their reptilian eyes. That'd be cool. Lizard men need some love. Just saying. Them and the kobolds. Actually, kobolds got some love. They got turned into little dragon people, and they used to be little yippy doggy people. So, lizards, things. Okay, the act of hypnotizing someone takes about 5 minutes. The subject is then very relaxed and willing to do almost anything that isn't very dangerous or against his alignment. Note, however, that a hypnotized subject can be easily fooled. The subject may be convinced that he's doing one thing while he's actually doing another. Lawful or good psionists will trick their subjects in this fashion. Should beware. Okay, psionicists who use hypnotism to make people do chaotic or evil things may find themselves with alignment problems of their own. All right, so DMs, if your players are using their powers in an unethical way, you might need to change their alignment, is what they're saying. Hypnotism can have the following or similar effects. A character can be induced to remember things he has forgotten by reliving a frightening or distant event. A character can be made calm and unafraid in the face of a specific situation that he has been prepared for. A character can be cured of a bad habit or addiction, but not of curses or magical afflictions. A character can be prepared to impersonate someone by thoroughly adopting that individual's personality. Hypnotism cannot be used to increase a character's attributes, give him powers or abilities he does not naturally possess, let him do things that are beyond his capabilities, or gain information that he couldn't possibly know. Rejuvenation. This proficiency allows a character to recover PSPs while he meditates as quickly as if he were sleeping. The character achieves a state of deep concentration in which he focuses and regains his energy. He is still conscious and aware of his surroundings, so he does not suffer any penalties on surprise or initiative rolls. He is not helpless if attacked. He still can't expend PSPs, however. All right. Meditative focus. Through this proficiency, a psionicist can focus his mental energy on one particular discipline. As a result, his power scores in that discipline temporarily increase, while those in the other disciplines decline. The proficient requires the character to meditate uninterrupted for 12 hours. The last 4 hours of this meditation are spent deep, sleep-like trance. The psionicist can recover PSPs normally during the entire period. When the meditation is complete, the player makes a proficiency check. If the character passes the check, he has successfully focused his mind on one particular discipline, which was chosen when the process began. All the character's psionic power scores in the discipline are increased by 2 points for the next 24 hours, or until the character's PSP has been reduced to 0, whichever comes first. All of his power scores in other disciplines are reduced by 1 for the same period. Gym cutting, musical instrument, reading, writing, and religion. See Player's Handbook for a description of these proficiencies. Wild talents. I think, based on how they're doing the characters, I think that have psionics in 5E, and I think it's in Tasha's. They're looking at psionics more like an individual feat or wild talent almost. Even if they have a class and they give it a name and all that, like they did. I don't really like how they did it. I was disappointed. I was like, no, I want to do 5e Dark Sun. I really wanted to do that. Now if I want to do that, I have to make everything from scratch. It's like, bummer, guys. Why? And they come out and say it's problematic. I'm like, oh, it's supposed to be. It's a terrible future. A messed up world. Do you not watch movies? Read books. Have these kind of settings. And your heroes, and you're the player characters, if they even are heroes, are surviving in that environment. Trying not to get killed. Trying to get some water and, scrounge some stuff for survival. I mean, it's that kind of world. Wizards of the Coast, come back to coolness. It's so sad. Anyway, wild talents. A wild talent is someone from any other character class who has natural latent psychic potential. This potential can be present in any character regardless of class, alignment, or race. Wild talents can never approach psionicists in skill, But they do boast at least one psionic power, which is known as wild power among psionicists. Any character can test for wild powers. The character should be forewarned. Such effects are not without risk, as explained below. A character can test for wild powers only at specific times when the character is first created. When the character's wisdom increases to a higher point than it's ever been, the first time a character goes to a psionicist who can perform psychic surgery on him, when psionics is first introduced to the campaign. I can think of many other specific times you could possibly do this outside of their rules. If you introduce psionics to your game, think about how that's going to happen. And have fun with it. Like I said, I would just probably end up modifying this for 5e somehow, some way. Just be like, okay, we're going to use 2e rules with 5e. How do we do that? That's what I would do. Every character, an NPC, and monster, if the DM wishes, has a base chance of 1% to possess wild powers. This is modified as shown below. Each wisdom, con, or intelligence score of 18, that's a +3. Each wisdom, con, or intelligence score of 17, that's a +2. Each wisdom, con, or intelligence score of 16. Constitution is con, just so you know. +1. Character is 5th to 8th level, +1. Character is 9th level or higher, +2. Magic, cleric, or non-human times 1.5. I mean, mage. I'm getting tired, guys. Not have enough caffeine today. Mage, cleric, and non-human times 1/2. Round fractions up. Apply this penalty only once, even if more than one of these descriptions fits. A non-human mage, for example, non-human mage. That's the little star. All right. Don't know what it's specifically. Well, round your fractions up. Oh, the star is for the mage, cleric, or non-human. That's the penalty. That's when you multiply it by half. Cut it in half. Once you've determined the character's chance to be a wild talent, roll percentage dice. Percentile dice, our friends. Subtract 2 from the roll if the character is under the guidance of a psychic surgeon. See Psychic Surgery, Chapter 8. If the result is less than or equal to the modified chance, the character has at least one wild power. If the number is 97 or higher, the character suffers dire consequences. See the risks below. And it gives a nice little example of how to do. And okay. Does it give us the risks? Risks. Yes, it does. Okay. Now we're going to read some of these paragraphs out of order. The risks. Characters who attempt to unlock their psionic potential are tampering with the things they cannot begin to understand. You're messing with your mind, okay? If dice roll is 97 or higher, the character suffers the following consequences. 97, save versus death or wisdom reduced by 1d6 points permanently. 98, save versus death or intelligence reduced by 1d6 permanently. 99, save versus death or constitution reduced by 1d6 points permanently. 0, that's 100. Save versus death with -5 penalty or wisdom, intelligence, and constitution all reduced to 3 permanently. So they give you a choice. Oh, that's evil. Okay, player. Yeah, you didn't get it. You only had a 2% chance and you rolled a 3. Sorry. And so now you choose. You gotta tell me in advance, because you would have to. Tell the DM in advance. What do you want to do? Save versus death? Or have it affect your abilities just automatically. After, based on the roll. Oh, wow. Dun, dun, dun. I didn't know it was that dangerous. I told you it was dangerous. All right. Determining powers. If a character is wild talent, the player should roll percentile dice again and consult table 12. Obviously has lots of things listed over there. The wild devotions to determine exactly what the character's psionic powers are. Most wild talents have only one power. A lucky few, those with high rolling players, boast more than one. Furthermore, if a character gains any power with a pre-request, he automatically gains the pre-request too. For example, if the wild talent knows a telepathic power, which requires contact, an important telepathic power, he automatically knows contact too. Strength points. Like an actual psionicist, a wild talent has psionic strength points. He receives the minimum power of PSPs necessary for the use of the power or powers once. If the power can be maintained, he receives enough additional points to pay the maintenance cost 4 times. Afterward, the character receives 4 additional PSPs every time he gains a new experience level. He receives no bonuses for levels he already has. It seems like if you got a wild talent, players might want to switch classes, just saying it could happen. But who knows? I can see that conversation happening. All right, so what are we talking about here? Oh my gosh. Okay, wild devotions. So you would roll on a D100, and there is a lot of stuff to choose from. Like, just reading it all, it's long. And then you got wild sciences.
Sorry.
And again, a lot of stuff over there too. Oh my goodness. So you've got clairsentient devotions, psychokinetic, psychometabolic, telepathic, psychoproative. You got over in the wild sciences, clairsentient, psychokinetic, psychometabolic, telepathic, psychoportative. All right. So I'm not going to read the chart. I'm going to just kind of show you, you guys can kind of see. That's like a lot of stuff. Oh, no. Obviously, we'll be going over some of this. Oh, my gosh, there's so much. All right. So next episode, we hit psionic combat. So we finished chapter 1 this episode without reading off those big lists. Next episode, we'll start seeing how we're supposed to do combat. And go from there. Combat cards, other considerations. Yeah, it looks like they got some ideas in here. Might be interesting. And then it starts getting into the different sciences. We have like chapters on that. So we'll just, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do all the individual chapters on that or not. Let me know. Someone give me some feedback. I picked this subject because I couldn't find anything on YouTube that looked decent on D&D Psionics. So I figured nobody's done it. So pick a subject nobody's doing. And hopefully, somebody will be interested. But, I mean, I can do the individual stuff. I mean, maybe we should. But that's after combat. So let me know where you want to, how deep in you want to go, or if you're ready for me to move on. after combat to the next thing, to the next psionic book. Because we have got Dark Sun, we've got roll aids. Take a look at roll aids a little bit better. So let me know. I'm open. Everybody have a good day. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Bye.